Solid solution strengthening. This is one of the another technique to strengthen and harden the metal by allying with impurities atoms. Okay, allying with impurities atom. And when we are doing so, what happens? These impurities atoms get into the crystal lattice either by substitutional or interstitial solid solution. Okay, and this term we have already studied in the first unit. We have covered in the first unit solid solution. It is divided into two types. One is a substitutional solid solution and the next one is a interstitial solid solution. For your remembrance, I can say substitutional solid solution in the sense we can say if the solute atom replace the solvent atom in the crystal lattice. Okay, if the solute atom replace the solvent atom in the crystal lattice, we can call it as a substitutional solid solution. Replacing in the sense it's a substitutional solid solution. Interstitial solid solution in the sense I can say if the solute atoms enters into the voids or interstitial space between the atoms in the crystal lattice. That means solute atom enters into the voids or interstitial space between the atoms in the crystal lattice. In order to understand how the solid solution is strengthening, I have taken a pure atoms. So here we have all the atoms as a solvent, no more things in it. Okay, so now here I going to add the impurity. Okay, that means I going to add the solute atom into it. So I going to consider here this solid solution is going to happen by substitutional solid solution. So that means I going to consider the substitution going to happen in this preferred atom. Okay, so the impurity atoms is quite larger in atomic radius when compared to pure atom. So what happens, it will take position in this lattice as this manner. This is the exact position when we are preparing the solid solutions. It happens. Okay, you can see a clear picture of substitutional solid solution when the impurity atom is added into the pure atom. This is the exact thing happen when we are doing. Okay, and I can say while the impurity atom is taking position in the lattice crystal, what happens, since the radius of the solute atom is greater than the solvent atom, it moves the nearby parent atoms. It moves the nearby parent atom outwards, so that I can say it creates strain field. It creates the strain field. Okay, so this is the exact behavior we can see when the solute atom is added into the solvent atom. Okay, so now how this strengthening is happening in the solid solution, let me see now. Okay, actually what we did, just we added the solute atom into the solvent atom. Am I right? Yes. So the substitutional impurity or substitutional solute atom exert the strain field around or on the base material. Okay, actually this base material is already subjected to the tensile strain. So what happens, the strain field created around the solute atom will be interacting with the dislocation on this solid solution. So consequently I can say this dislocation moment will be restricted, so that the strengthening will be increased in the material. Okay, so what is happening here, the strain field interact with dislocation dislocation produced by the tensile strain and the parent material. Okay, so that what are happening, dislocation movement is restricted so that hence I can say strengthening is increased. The last one is a precipitate hardening. This is a last strengthening method, and in favor of understanding this precipitate hardening, I have considered time temperature graph. And I can say, in order to accomplish the precipitate hardening, I can say hardly it undergoes three stages. Okay, let me see what are the three stages it's undergoing. The first one is a solid solution heat treatment, and next one is a quenching process, and last one is a aging. Okay, let me start from the first. First one, solid solution heat treatment, isn't it? Yes. So I can say, to form a very good solid solution is to heat at a high temperature. Okay, in order to form a very good solid solution, they used to heat the material at very high temperature, and afterwards they used to hold on at a particular temperature for some times. Okay, this holding temperature will be based on the material. Okay, so first of all, in the solid solution heat treatment, they have heated the material, and afterwards they have hold at the particular temperature. And next they used to do the quenching process. This quenching is already known concept for us. From the second unit we are dealing with it. Okay, I hope you all are remembering this. Okay, so I can say quenching in the sense rapid cooling of material by the applications of water or oil. It's a sudden cooling, rapid cooling. So what happens here, when we apply the water or oil in the material, what happens, it suddenly cool to the normal temperature. This is a process we're going to call quenching. Here we going to carry out the quenching. Okay, so don't think after the quenching process our process has been completed. Okay, hereafter only we are moving to the main process, which will increase the properties of material. Okay, so hereafter we are going to consider the aging process, but the difference is here we will be doing some kind of changes in a temperature, or we will be adding some kind of additional sources. Am I right? Yes, but we have to leave this material without disturbing. Okay, we have to leave this material. Okay, we have to leave this material without disturbing, without giving any disturbance for some hours. It may take some hours, or it may take some days for the process. Okay, time is demanded based on the type of material we are using in the process. And I can say at the end of this aging, what happens, we could see it is experimentally proved some kind of precipitate formed in the phases. If you take a microstructural view for your clarity in understanding, you could see the difference in the initial of aging and after the completion of the aging process. Okay, so you can see evidently the difference. I can say in the beginning of aging process, the phase distribution will be like this in the observation, and when we completed our aging process, I can say there will be formation of precipitate on the on the phases. There will be formation of precipitate, and because of this I can say there will be increase, there will be increase in strength in the material because of what precipitate formation. Okay, because of this precipitate formation there will be increase in strength. And for your better understanding, I can describe the precipitate hardening as the strength and hardness of material can be enhanced by the formation of extremely small dispersed particle of second phase, small uniformly dispersed particles of second phase within the original phase matrix. Okay, this precipitate, second precipitate, is formed within the original phase matrix. So this is accomplished by the heat treatment we discussed in the start of this title, and this process also called as what, edge hardening. Okay, so in the replacement of precipitate hardening, they are also calling as what, edge hardening. I said formation of precipitate increase the strength of material. Am I right? Precipitate increase the strength of material. And how it is happening? How it is happening in the material? I can say the concept is same as that of previous method. That means the motion of dislocation. Motion of dislocation is obstructed, but here what is happening, it is obstructed by means of, I can say, by means of particles. That is the difference from last method. And in general I can say it happens in the material by two mechanisms. Okay, it's happening in the material by two mechanisms. I have shown for your reference. I can say the first one is a cut through the precipitate, and second one is bend around and bypass the precipitate. Okay, cut through the precipitate is the first one, and second one is a bend around and bypass the precipitate. Okay, so first let me concentrate on the cut through the precipitate, and we can move to the bend around and bypass the precipitate. Cut through precipitate, these are the precipitate, and here you can see the dislocation lines, dislocation motion. Here actually the dislocation is happening. I can say whenever the dislocation influence the precipitate, whenever the dislocation influence the precipitate, it causes slip. Okay, it causes slip. So because of slip, this precipitate is behaving or showing in such manner. Okay, this picture is actually a top view. For your better understanding, I can say just think this precipitate as like a ball. Okay, and then when it is been sliced, just think this ball is cut into two pieces, and this upper pieces is just moved along the slip line. Okay, just moved along the slip line. You can see here the upper portion of this precipitate, just like that ball, the upper portion is moved some distance. You can see evidently from this image. During this you can see some new surface is new area or new surface, new area is exposed, because of this new area, because of this exposed new area. Okay, I can say in that precipitate it demands extra energy for further dislocation, dislocations. Okay, this new area will demands extra energy for further dislocation, and because of this dislocation motion is obstructed, and it increases what? Strengthening. This is exactly happening in the cut through precipitate mechanism. Now let me move to the next one. Bend around and bypass the precipitate. This kind of mechanism is actually happening in the material because of overaging. Okay, when the material is overaged, I can say this precipitate will also larger in size, and also the space between the precipitate also will be larger. Okay, so in such kind of material, whenever the dislocation influence, okay, whenever the dislocation influence the precipitate, this will tends to bow around. Okay, this will tends to bow around. The dislocation will be bowing around this precipitate. Okay, and when it is extended, I can say it will be forming the dislocation loop such manner. It will be forming the dislocation loop such manner. So because of this I can say dislocation motion is obstructed. Dislocation motion is obstructed, and then consequently increase in strengthening happens. Increase in strengthening. So this is the exact mechanism. It is going around in the bend around and bypass the precipitate. So by this we can end up this session. Thank you.